everyone, how are you? Tonight we're going to have this amazing recipe. It is our toasted Orzo skillet with shrimp, and I've had it before at a meeting that we had for Pampered Chef, and it was amazing. I am going to be making tweaks to this recipe because one, I do not own the 12-inch stainless steel skillet, which is shown right here. I am waiting to purchase it, but I do have our non-stick grill pan, which should work just fine. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to preheat the non-stick grill pan. Because this pan is non-stick and it's a grill pan, I am actually not going to use the canola oil that this recipe calls for. I'm just gonna put the shrimp in on its own because it won't stick. It'll still be flavorful and it cuts on some of the calories. So I want to show you all how awesome the grill pan is. Right now I'm using the chef's tongs to turn the shrimp over. I'm just gonna wait for them to get a little bit pinker. But as you can see, as I'm moving them around, it is not sticking at all to the grill pan. So I went ahead and turned a couple of the shrimp over, and as you can see how easy it is to do. And look at the beautiful color that the shrimp is getting. So we're gonna make all of this in one pan, and you don't want to clean off any of this stuff because you want the seasoning from the shrimp to be on the pan, in the rest of the recipe. Now I'm gonna actually take these shrimp out just because they're gonna finish cooking while I have the orzo and the chicken broth. But I just wanted to let you guys know just how non-stick our pans are. So I went ahead and lowered the flame on the grill pan, and I am putting butter all over this to prep it for the toasting of the orzo, because you want the orzo to get nice and brown. This is 1 tablespoon of unsalted butter. I try and minimize our salt intake because my husband has high blood pressure, so it'll be enough salt with the chicken broth for this recipe. The next step in this recipe is to use our garlic press and put the crushed garlic right into the pan. With our garlic press, you can put it right in with the skin of the garlic and everything, and just crushes right out. We have a little brush that you can use, and you can just clean off all of that excess garlic, and this is what you're left with. The recipe calls for 2 cloves of garlic. Now what I normally do to get that skin out is I put the brush into the little holes and just screw around with it, and it usually loosens that skin, and I never have to touch the actual garlic. So the next step is to pour 1 cup of orzo into the skillet, and then what you're going to do is you're going to keep stirring it until it gets a little bit of a brown color. I just want to show you guys what that orzo is looking like. It's capturing all the flavors that were already on the pan. But do you see how it's getting a nice brown toasted color? I'm going to leave it in a little bit longer. But you see, even with the grooves from the grill pan, it's not sticking. And it's just getting a beautiful toasted color. Okay, so the next thing this recipe calls for is 1 3/4 cups of chicken broth. While the recipe does call for peas, I am using string beans, cut string beans, And you see that beautiful brown color? That is from all the flavor that was in the grill pan already from cooking the shrimp, the butter, and the garlic. This recipe calls for onions. My family isn't really a fan of onions, so that the girls can eat, I didn't put it in for this recipe. So while we have that simmering for 6 to 8 minutes uncovered, I am going to use our microplane grater to grate some cheese. You can use Parmesan Romano. I already have an Asiago cheese open, so I'm going to use that so I don't open up a new pack of cheese just for this recipe. This was the protector for the blades so that A, the blades stay sharp, and B, you don't hurt yourself. Our microplane grater opens up all the way so you can lay it flat on a bowl or in standing position, which is usually how I use it because I put it right on my cutting mat. This is our guard for the microplane grater. This piece goes right on. Then you place the cheese inside. This piece has prongs, so you put it right over and you start grating away. Let's see if I put this further away. I think you should be able to see. Perfect. So here we go. And you see how easy it is to grate the cheese? And you're left with a very thin slice of cheese. So hardly any gets wasted. I usually call my husband over and he eats the slice that's left. So the next part of this recipe is to juice a lemon into the skillet once the chicken broth has been absorbed. You can use our citrus press. I have the Pampered Chef juicer, which I love. And what's great about the Pampered Chef juicer is that you have a straining option or a pouring option if you don't want to strain it. So this is our straining option. So you just squeeze the lemon right on it, twisting, and you get all that delicious juice out. This is what the lemon is left with, so you waste none of your lemon. And it's the same thing with the citrus press. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna now take this over to the stove. I'm gonna pour this over the orzo with the shrimp and half of the cheese that I grated. Going ahead and I'm turning this, and again it's not sticking, and all of the chicken broth is absorbed. Go ahead and take that lemon that I juiced with the strain and pour that all over this. Go ahead and add the shrimp that was seasoned in our lemon pepper rub. I'm going to mix this all up. And I'm going to let this sit for a while before I add the cheese so that the lemon juice is absorbed into the recipe. Okay, so now I went ahead and put the cheese, half of the cheese that I had already grated, into this recipe and stirring it all up so it gets nice and melted and blended in. And it's going to be a delicious meal for my whole family. I can't wait. I'm so excited, especially since I absolutely love anything made with lemon. I hope that you are able to try this recipe one day. I will post the link to this recipe for you.